In the modern world, we are constantly navigating a minefield of information, especially when it comes to our health. We walk into grocery stores, armed with good intentions, determined to make the right choices for our bodies. We trust the labels, the beautiful packaging, and the promises of a healthier life. But what if that trust is misplaced? What if the very foods we believe are nourishing us are actually well-disguised illusions, crafted by a multi-billion-dollar industry that has mastered the art of deception? Today, we pull back the curtain on 10 of the most common health foods that are secretly sabotaging your diet. We begin with a dessert that built its empire on a promise of guilt-free indulgence, the frozen yogurt fallacy. It's positioned as the angelic twin to its sinful counterpart, ice cream. The truth, however, is far from pure. A single cup of frozen yogurt often contains more sugar than the same amount of ice cream. While ice cream might have around 28 grams of sugar, frozen yogurt can easily pack 37 grams or more. That's like adding 9 extra sugar cubes to your dessert. This deception is amplified by a psychological trick known as the health halo effect. Because we perceive it as healthy, our brains give us permission to consume more. Those self-serve stations provide bowls that could double as soup tureens, encouraging us to fill them to the brim. Then comes the toppings bar, a carnival of processed sweets, chocolate chips, cookie crumbles, and sugary fruit sauces. By the time you reach the checkout, your healthy alternative has morphed into a caloric monster, often surpassing a decadent ice cream sundae. Furthermore, the probiotics advertised are often a myth, as the beneficial bacteria are typically destroyed in the freezing process. The tangy taste of real yogurt is masked with even more sweeteners, making it a perfect imposter. Next, we enter the world of dining out, where the restaurant's salad ruse preys on the health conscious. You feel virtuous ordering a garden salad, picturing a plate of vibrant, life-giving greens. But restaurants are masters of culinary disguise. They begin with that innocent bed of lettuce, only to bury it under an avalanche of shredded cheese. Then come the crouton's tiny cubes of deep-fried bread, masquerading as a wholesome crunch. They add crispy fried chicken that has been bathed in more oil than a mechanic's workshop. Finally, the entire creation is drowned in a creamy dressing, a sauce so rich it could be a dish on its own. The result is a salad that can easily pack over 900 calories, eclipsing the caloric content of a burger and fries. You are essentially eating a deconstructed burger, all while patting yourself on the back for making a healthy choice. Your brain sees green and thinks virtue, while your body processes a high-fat, high-calorie meal in disguise. Our third culprit hides in the snack aisle, cloaked in beautiful packaging, the veggie chip deception. Bags adorned with vibrant images of fresh beets, carrots, and spinach convince you that you're essentially eating a portable salad. But a quick look at the ingredients list reveals a different story. The primary ingredients are almost always potato flour and cornstarch, with just enough vegetable powder sprinkled in to legally justify the name. It's the nutritional equivalent of adding a single drop of orange juice to a swimming pool and calling it a citrus beverage. A serving of these so-called veggie chips often has the same amount of fat and calories as regular potato chips. The intense frying and processing required to create them obliterate any vitamins or nutrients the original vegetables may have possessed. You're left with a colorful, expensive version of a potato chip, paying a premium for a snack that attended art school. Let's move on to a breakfast staple, the muffin myth. That wholesome-looking blueberry or bran muffin you grab with your morning coffee is often nothing more than a cupcake without the frosting. Some store-bought muffins contain a staggering 45 grams of sugar and can exceed 600 calories. That's calorically equivalent to eating 3 donuts for breakfast. And those blueberry specks? They are frequently not real fruit, but artificially flavored and colored bits of sugar and starch. When food manufacturers remove fat to create low-fat versions, they compensate by dumping in even more sugar to maintain a palatable taste and texture. These muffins are typically made with refined flour, which has been stripped of all its fiber and nutrients, causing your blood sugar to spike dramatically and then crash, leaving you feeling tired and hungry just a few hours later. Now for a staple of healthy sandwiches: wheat bread tricks. You stand in the bread aisle, feeling responsible for choosing the brown loaf over the white one. But unless the label explicitly states 100% whole wheat, you are likely falling for a clever marketing ploy. Many manufacturers use refined white flour and simply add caramel coloring to give the bread a healthy-looking hue. It's the equivalent of giving bread a fake tan. They can legally label it wheat bread because all bread is technically derived from wheat. But refined flour is merely the empty skeleton of the wheat kernel, with the nutrient-rich bran and germs stripped away. To complete the illusion, some companies sprinkle a few oats or seeds on the crust. The only way to know the truth is to read the ingredients. If enriched flour is listed first, you are holding white bread in a brown costume. In the dairy aisle, we find our next subject, the almond milk analysis. Almond milk has surged in popularity as a healthy, plant-based alternative. However, most commercial almond milk is a masterful illusion of marketing over substance. The vast majority of what's inside the carton is water, often as much as 98%. The actual almond content is a mere 2%. Imagine inviting 100 people to an almond party, but only 2 almonds actually show up. To create the creamy texture consumers expect, companies rely on a cocktail of thickeners, gums, and emulsifiers. These additives create the mouthfeel of milk, but they offer no nutritional value. It's like putting shoulder pads in a jacket to make it seem more substantial than it is. The reason is simple economics. Almonds are expensive. By using a minimal amount, companies maximize their profits, betting that consumers won't scrutinize the ingredient list. You're effectively paying a premium price for almond-scented water. Let's fire up the grill for the plant burger pitfall. These trendy meatless burgers are marketed as a miracle food for both our bodies and the planet. While they may have environmental benefits, their health claims deserve a closer look. These patties are products of extreme food science, undergoing more processing than a pop star's public image. They are ultra-processed foods, engineered with industrial machines to mimic the texture and taste of meat. The sodium content is often astronomical, with some plant burgers containing 4 times more salt than a traditional beef patty. The oils used to create a juicy, fatty mouthfeel are typically processed seed oils. While they contain fiber, the protein quality is often inferior to animal sources. The ingredients list can read like a chemistry textbook, filled with isolates, extracts, and additives. While you feel virtuous choosing a plant-based option, your body is tasked with digesting a complex science experiment. Remember, potato chips are also technically plant-based. Next, we're sipping on the coconut water crisis. Marketed as the ultimate natural hydrator, pure coconut water is indeed packed with electrolytes. However, many major brands are diluting this natural elixir. They take pure coconut water, add plain water to increase the volume, and then dump in sugar and artificial natural flavors to compensate for the watered-down taste. The result is a product that's closer to a tropical-themed soda than a health drink. You are paying a premium for what is essentially coconut-flavored sugar water. To spot the scam, check the label. If the ingredients list contains anything other than coconut water, such as added sugar or flavors, you're not getting the real deal. True coconut water has a subtle, slightly savory taste, not the cloying sweetness of liquid candy. Our penultimate deception is a masterclass in legal loopholes, the zero trans fat trick. We've been taught to avoid trans fats, and food labels proudly proclaiming 0 grams trans fat seem like a safe bet. However, food industry regulations allow companies to make this claim as long as the product contains less than 0.5 grams of trans fat per serving. The trick is that the company also gets to define the serving size. They shrink it to an absurdly small amount, 1 cookie, or a mere 3 crackers. No one eats just 3 crackers. This tiny portion size keeps them under the legal limit. But when you consume a realistic amount, those fractions of a gram add up quickly. 10 servings of zero trans fat crackers could mean you've consumed several grams of this harmful fat. The real tell is in the ingredients. If you see partially hydrogenated oils, the product contains trans fat, regardless of what the front of the package claims. Finally, we uncover honey's sweet deception. Raw, unprocessed honey is a true superfood, rich in antioxidants, enzymes, and pollen. But the golden liquid you find in most supermarkets is a shadow of its natural self. Commercial honey often undergoes intense processing, including ultrafiltration and pasteurization at high heat. This process is designed to give the honey a clear, clean appearance and prevent it from crystallizing on the shelf. In doing so, it strips away up to half of its beneficial compounds. The antioxidants are diminished, the digestive enzymes are destroyed, and the immune-boosting pollen is completely removed. What remains is little more than a sugary syrup. Because the term raw is not strictly regulated, companies can use it even after significant processing. For the real thing, seek out local beekeepers. True honey is often cloudy, may contain bits of wax, and will eventually crystallize, a sign of its purity, not a flaw. These 10 examples reveal a crucial lesson. In the world of food, things are not always as they seem. The path to genuine health isn't paved with trendy products and marketing slogans, but with awareness and critical thinking. It requires us to become detectives in our own kitchens, to read the labels, and to question the promises made on the front of the package. If you found this investigation revealing, subscribe for more deep dives into the products we use every day.